So trying something different today. We're using my big camera for today's B.A.V. It's mid-November and it is hot out. Anyway, today we're here at the Duke Homestead. It's a place in Durham that we've actually never visited before. I've never been here, even though I worked at the PetSmart that's right through those trees over there. I worked at that PetSmart for 5 years, and I never made the trip around the corner to come back here and check it out. So we're gonna go check out some historical old buildings and sort of see some of the founding history of the city of Durham.
This barn dates back to about 1870, and it is originally a farm from northern Durham County. So it's a tobacco barn. And so they would hand harvest tobacco leaves and bring them to the curing barn, and then tie them in little bundles to tobacco sticks with twine. And then they would hang in the barn and cure for about a week. And then so the middle of the barn has heat and smoke channeled up through flue pipes. This barn could hold 550 tobacco sticks, which is about a half an acre.
I see it.
See where they would make a fire, and then the pipes would let the smoke go up to make the tobacco dry.
Then no animals.
No, because this is a tobacco barn.
But we need animals in barns.
It smells nice.
This is a tobacco barn, so it has.
Smells like honey.
It smells like
tobacco.
Yeah.
Leaves. That's what those leaves smell like.
It smells like honey in there. Yum.
It does kind of smell like honey. It's got a very sweet smell to it.
And then there's a pipe for some of the smoke to go up, and some of the smoke will be inside to help the tobacco leaves cure.
Yeah. But I see some real leaves in there. I see.
Yeah. Oh, and it's already ready to start a fire. Maybe they're really curing tobacco in here. Like it's set with like paper under a.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Let's go.
What's this building?
This is the tobacco pack house. So they would bake the leaves, and then they'd be dry and brittle. And they would take the tobacco sticks from the barn and bring them to the pack house to be rehydrated for handling.
I hold it.
So there's a pit that's partially below the ground and pretty cool and moist, and so that let the leaves become pliable when they left them there overnight. And then they would sort or grade them based on their quality. And then once there were about 15 leaves of the same grade, they would be bunched together in a hand of tobacco and stored to transport to market.
Let's go check it out.
It's a house.
Yeah, so I was telling Daddy about what they used to do here. They would put the leaves down in the dark damp, and then they would get hydrated again so that they could package them together to take to market.
Why aren't you in there, Dad? Can we come with you too?
Yeah, come on in.
You want to go downstairs?
It is really spooky here. Down. What's spooky? Down. It is very muddy.
It's just a clay floor.
I see some
Feel how much
tracks.
colder it is in here, though?
I
And
see
kind
tracks.
of damp? Yeah, there are lots of tracks.
Where are these tracks from?
I see a lot of people tracks, maybe some raccoon.
Yeah.
Raccoons be in here. Very, very muddy.
Feel how cool it is, though, because it's just a little bit
Underground.
underground.
No. Let's get out of here.
This is the third tobacco factory. So they would beat the dry tobacco with sassafras flails to break up the leaves, and then sift it through a metal sieve, pack it into muslin sacks. And this one was used until 1874 when they moved to downtown Durham. They were the first to introduce machine-rolled cigarettes into the market, and in 1890 created the American Tobacco Company.
Home of Lucky Strike and the Water Tower.
That's right.
So you're saying this was the first one?
That was the first one.
That looks more like a corn crib. Washington Duke was drafted into the Confederate Navy, and then after his conscription was over, came back to the farm, and in a previous video we went and visited the Bennett place. So when Washington Duke came back here, all of Sherman and Johnston's troops had smoked up most of Washington Duke's tobacco. Luckily, the sign up front said, luckily there was still enough that he and his sons could use this here corn crib and start making that smoking tobacco that eventually became Bull Durham tobacco, and then Lucky Strike and all that stuff. So, not that we're advocating smoking cigarettes, but this is a critical part of the economic development of this state. This is a pretty big place. It was 300 acres. Did they have slaves here? Did the thing say anything about slaves? I forgot to mention, let me find some better lighting. The main reason we came here is that one of Bridget's all-time favorite movies is Walt Disney's The Happiest Millionaire, and one of the main characters in the movie, Cordelia Drexel Biddle, marries an ancestor of Washington Duke. In fact, I think it was probably his grandson, Andrew Duke, and this is the Duke Homestead.
It's the Duke Homestead where he didn't want to come, and instead he wanted to go to the booming metropolis of Detroit, where he could make cars.
I mean, why grow and pack tobacco when you could go to Detroit and make cars?
One set of lungs when you could pollute so many.
But here's where it all started. The Duke family is also the namesake of Duke University. They endowed it when it was still Trinity Bible College on the other side of town. So here we're looking at the back side of the house, probably the kitchen. I think this is the smokehouse right here behind me. This might be cold storage and well, is my guess, because it looks like there's a covered well there, and then of course, because that cold water's coming up out of the ground, be nice and cool. Look at that padlock. That is really cool. I wonder if this is original.
Lots of grape arbors.
They may have had different varieties.
What do you think? What kind of animal do you think lives in here? Well, go look and see if you can tell by looking inside.
Chickens! Chickens! This is a chicken coop.
Oh, that! Look across the way. What do you think's in those over there?
See some.
In those white boxes across the field? Do you see them?
Yep. That's the tobacco plant.
See, guys? You can see where the leaves were growing on here. Whoops.
So the tobacco, the bright leaf tobacco that was hanging in that tobacco barn was probably grown right here.
Yeah.
All right, Bets. So what were those white boxes we saw across the field?
Honeybee hives.
Honeybee hives. The Tobacco Museum part of the Duke Homestead site is closed for renovation, so we're not going to be able to get in there and look at more of the history of Durham County. We can always come back and we'll take one of those guided tours so we can get inside the house. But our adventure here in Durham continues. Where are we going, Bets?
I don't.
Camera shy. What is going on? She's never camera shy.
Look at this.
What are you holding, Benny?
Baby brachiosaurus.
Baby brachiosaurs?
So let them go. T-Rexes like to eat meat. And baby brachiosaurus do like to eat meat also.
Baby brachiosaurus like to eat meat also?
Yeah, just like T-Rexes.
But how do they make it? How do they eat it with their teeth?
They crunch it.
Don't they have plant-eating teeth?
They crunch like the fruit like this.
Oh, the fruit.
Oh,
They like fruit like T-Rexes like.
I see.
That makes more
I
sense.
And then Toya.
I see all those dinosaurs.
I want to sell it.
Huh?
Oh, wow.
Oh, what's this over here?
What is that one, Dad?
What's that one, Dad?
Remember, baby?
What?
What's that one called?
I don't know.
The Allosaurus. Here comes that mama.
What?
Are you bringing something now?
I'm bringing lemonade.
Maybe the dinosaurs will agree. Mom's got good. Wow. Come on, Stella.
You are going to ride around, love.
Scarlet. Somebody can get on the back if you want. Watch out. Watch out. I'd like to go that way. If you go this way, Dad, you're gonna find sharks too. You're gonna find sharks.
There's a baby one.
You're gonna find sharks too.
What is that? What is it? A baby one. Oh. And a mommy one.
You got a little leaf in your hair.
Yeah. Oh, this. Anatolia. This is called Anatolia.
What are those ones, Benny?
Blue one says B. That's what these are supposed to be.
But they are.
Did you see the Maiasaura had a pine cone in its mouth? It is Tyrannosaurus. Alright, give me big smiles. BB, big smile.
Let's say butterfly.
I think everybody had their eyes closed.
Really?
look at that stick bug. Look how big he is. That's a big old moth too, huh? And look how tiny these are. You see those bugs in there? Some of those are beetles. Look at these big old beetles. Okay, let's go. Blue and green.
2, 3, 5. 2. That's 5. 4.
More. And more.
Can we go?
Okay, now you can push it.
No.
Say hi to the cows.
Hi, cows.
That one's name is Dusty. I don't see this one's name. Oh, there it is. This one's name is Dallas.
Oh, you hear him talking?
This one's 3 years old. Hi, Dusty.
He did just move.
One of these alpacas' name is Emily.
You want to go into the barn, buddy?
Yeah. There's that alpaca.
There's that alpaca. Oh, that goat's wearing a coat. A goat in a coat. See the little coat on that goat?
But that's not a goat.
It is a goat.
Let's go and see the dog.
The donkey. Hey, Benny, I think the donkey's wearing a coat too.
He is a silly old dog. Don't. That means, is that a girl?
No, this one's a boy.
No, that's a donkey.
This one's a boy donkey. His name is Lightning. Like that. Bubs, you want to show me your stegosaur? Oh, it's a green stegosaur.
That is huge.
It is huge.
I like it.
Yeah, I can't believe how dark it's getting at 4 o'clock already. I hate shooting in front of people. It's very, very awkward. Thanks for joining us today on our adventure to the Duke Homestead site and to the Durham Museum of Life and Science. You can hear Betsy howling over there. And remember, you can find adventure anywhere, so get out there and find your own. And if you want to keep up with our adventures, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Thanks, and we'll see you next time.